Have you ever noticed this? You and someone of the opposite gender experience the exact same situation, yet react in completely different ways. One wants to talk, the other goes silent. One focuses on emotions, the other looks for solutions. And suddenly, both feel misunderstood. This isn't coincidence, it isn't attitude, and it definitely isn't superiority. It's psychology. And once you understand this, the way you see men and women in relationships, friendships, and even conflicts will never be the same. Before we go any further, subscribe to this channel if you enjoy content that explains human behavior clearly, calmly, and honestly. Now let's begin. Men and women are far more similar than most people think, but where they differ in patterns, not in value. Psychologists have studied these differences for decades, not to divide us, but to help us understand why misunderstandings happen so easily. One of the most researched areas is how men and women process emotionally. Studies in neuroscience show that women tend to have stronger connections between emotional processing and verbal expression. This means emotions are more easily translated into words. Men, on the other hand, often process emotions internally before expressing them, if they express them at all. This is why under stress, women often want to talk things through, while men withdraw. To a woman, silence can feel like emotional distance. To a man, silence is often how he regains control. Neither is wrong. They are simply different coping strategies. Psychologist Simon Baron-Cohen introduced the idea that on average, women are more empathy-oriented, while men are more system-oriented. This doesn't mean women are emotional and men are logical. That's a myth. It means women often prioritize emotional context, while men prioritize structure and outcomes. Now let's talk about stress, because this is where differences become very visible. Under pressure, the male brain is more likely to enter a problem-solving mode. Testosterone increases focus and risk tolerance. The female brain, influenced by oxytocin, tends to seek connection and reassurance during stress. This is known as the tend and befriend response. So, when stress hits, men often want space. Women often want closeness. This difference alone causes countless arguments, not because people don't care, but because they care in opposite ways. Another major difference lies in communication. Women often communicate to connect. Men often communicate to solve. That's why a woman might share a problem just to be understood, while a man immediately offers solutions. To him, solutions equal care. To her, listening equals care. Same intention, different language. Decision-making also follows different psychological patterns. Men are generally more comfortable making fast decisions with limited emotional input. Women tend to process emotional consequences more deeply before deciding. This doesn't make women indecisive or men reckless. It means women evaluate impact, while men evaluate efficiency. In evolutionary psychology, this makes sense. Historically, women had to consider long-term safety and social harmony. Men were often rewarded for quick action and risk-taking. Those tendencies didn't disappear, they adapted. Now let's talk about emotional expression, one of the most misunderstood differences. Men feel emotions just as deeply as women, but society often teaches men to suppress emotional expression. From a young age, boys hear, "Be strong, don't cry, handle it." Women, on the other hand, are encouraged to express feelings and seek support. Over time, this creates two emotional styles. Men internalize, women externalize. When emotions are suppressed, they don't disappear. They show up as stress, anger, or withdrawal. This is why many psychologists say men don't lack emotions, they lack emotional language. Women become emotionally fluent, men become emotionally private. Now let's talk about love and relationships. Women often associate love with emotional safety. Men often associate love with loyalty and responsibility. Women want to feel emotionally seen. Men want to feel respected. When either is missing, conflict begins. Understanding this difference alone can transform relationships. Men and women also differ in how they respond to conflict. Women are more likely to revisit issues to restore emotional balance. Men are more likely to want closure quickly. To a woman, unresolved emotion feels heavy. To a man, prolonged conflict feels overwhelming. Again, same goal, different approach. Here's the most important part. These differences are averages, not rules. Every individual is unique. But patterns help us understand why communication breaks down and how to fix it. Psychology doesn't say men and women are opposites. It says they are complementary. Different strengths, different perspectives, different ways of caring. When these differences are misunderstood, they create distance. When they are understood, they create balance. And this is why psychology matters. It teaches us that most conflicts aren't caused by lack of love, but by lack of understanding. If this video helped you see men and women in a new way, like this video. Subscribe for more psychology-based content that explains human behavior clearly and respectfully. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because when we understand psychology, we stop arguing and start understanding.